It's the high heat of summer here, and so bubbles are a popular choice out in the garden. I've never met a child who didn't love playing bubbles, and it's always a surefire win for capturing their attention. So if you and your little one love playing bubbles together, then I want to share with you a few tweaks and additions that you can add to your bubble play to help build their attention, their speech sound development, and help them learn some new useful words. So stay tuned and let's get started. There's a few things that make bubbles really useful for early attention and teaching your child new words. One of the best things about it is that you've got this pot, and if you're anything like me and you want to avoid spillages, then the rule is that you hold on to the pot. You can give your child the wand, but you're holding that pot. So that means that your child, even if they run off and pop the bubbles, they're always coming back to you for more. So that's a really great opportunity to practice modeling some words to your child and encourage them to have a go. There's a few things that I do to really make the most of this. Firstly, I hold the pot right up by my face, and also after every time that I blow the bubbles, I put the lid back on. We talked about me maybe being a bit stingy. If we call it that, that's great. Stingy is a really useful way to create more opportunities for your child to ask for something. Because we have the lid on the pot, a really useful one is open. Open. Oh, and I might make a real thing of it. You know, we always talk about performance. I might say, oh, open, open. Make it a real big deal, and then, oh, open, okay? And then we've got some other key words. We've got some useful action words like blow. And of course we've got pop. When all the bubbles have been popped and the child comes back and asks for more bubbles, then we can also practice open again. And I might say, oh, pull. We can pull out the wand. And we can start practicing putting two words together. So this time, instead of blow, we might say blow bubbles. Blow bubbles. So if your child comes back, we might say, oh, again, more bubbles. Open. Oh, open. Okay, here we go. Pull. Blow bubbles. Another useful thing with bubbles is that we can start thinking about size. So I might say to a child, shall we do big bubbles or little bubbles? And then even if the child isn't yet talking, they can show me by gesturing whether they're gonna have really big bubbles or little bubbles. Of course, the challenge is then to actually meet the demand and see if I can make a big bubble. You'd think after all these years I've sussed out some bubble skills, but no. Little bubbles that time. Thinking about sounds, there's some really early sounds that we can practice with bubbles. So even in a word like open, we've got that p sound. P is a really useful early sound. So we've got p and b, the b in bubbles and p in open. And we can also just practice these all on their own. So I might just blow one, oh, and catch it. And then we can go p, 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 and see if we can make the bubbles move. If your child is one that blows through their nose instead of their mouth, which is something that I sometimes encounter, children will sometimes go instead of then we will practice the sound just to develop that awareness that when we are blowing, we're blowing air through our mouth rather than our nose. Another one that I use is w. So again, thinking about some really early sounds, I might pull out the wand by going w. And you see, it's quite exciting even for the dog. Are you eating my wand? So just a few little suggestions for you for making the most of bubbles. Think about those key words that you can model with your child. Take every opportunity to really capture your child's attention by holding onto the pot, holding it near your face so your child can see what sounds and words you're modeling, and also close the lid every time so that your child has to practice a word like open. I'm always looking for new toy suggestions to give you suggestions of activities to build your child's speech and language that fits with the kind of toys and activities that you and your little one love to do together. So do let me know in the comments below if there's a favorite toy or activity and you'd like some suggestions for working more speech sounds and language into that. However you choose to play with your little one, remember that you are doing fantastically. Every tiny step that the two of you take together is a step in the right direction. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week.